Good.
Good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Straight Chilling. Each week, we watch and review a horror film for your entertainment. You can send all questions and comments to straightchillingpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to keep chilling.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing. 5 cold feelings on the mind, got you reeling. 5-star ratings from the floor to the ceiling. If you get your 1 star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ, all the 1s and 2s. By the name of so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast some Marlowe and 2. And prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
What up, nerds? Welcome to another mysteriously scientific episode of Straight Chilling. My name is Bob, and I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode number 258, recorded on Monday, March 16th, 2020. Tonight, we're going to be talking about our final Patreon pick of the first quarter of 2020. The movie is the longest title in cinema history. It's called The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies, as was chosen by Michael from Horror Apocalypse Podcast. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Astoria, Oregon, we got our boy, Laney Danny G. Laney. What's up?
What's up, everybody? How's your quarantine going?
Just started.
Sweet.
Actually, no, I haven't quarantined myself at all.
Oh, boy. Just
roll
really
the
going to
dice.
be just aiming to be the Contra, huh? Just out
I
there
don't know,
fucking
man.
shit
I got a
up.
life. I got a life to live.
See, that's
Gotta
right.
do it.
That's where you and I differ. My life is nothing. So I don't
That's cool.
matter as opposed to you. You jerk.
You've been self-quarantining for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
Last but not least, we got our boy calling in from South Korea. What's up, Soju?
What up? It's your boy. Well. Looks like the shoe is on the other foot stains.
That's
Boy, that's
the
an appropriately long stains
Yeah.
joke considering the
The
title
longest.
of today's film.
For weeks, I've been hearing quarantine stains and corona stains. And now
Wait, you've been hearing that coming out of your own mouth, I believe.
Now we've got Corona Bob and Quarantine Randy. A little Karma Cola catching up to you, boy.
Karma for what? For you claiming that you're corona stains?
Nope, you guys claimed it.
Okay, sure.
At the tape.
Correct.
So
Well,
what's
if it
up?
makes you feel any better, you're going to survive, and we're not, so.
Makes me feel real nice.
Great.
Good.
Cool. You're gonna feel really, really, really bad when we die, for sure.
Damn.
So just remember that.
The show
Mostly
must
that's
go
going to be
on.
the
You guys
Rona.
think I could keep this thing afloat?
Probably.
Day 376 in quarantine podcast.
Corncast. It's got a ring to it.
It does.
But before we get into the review, let's tackle some housekeeping really quick. So this is your final reminder. The April poll pick is currently posted on our Patreon website. If you support us at the $5 level or above, you get a chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this April. The theme for April is Alien Invasion. The three movies you can vote between are going to be Alien, Slither, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Bob?
Juice.
How those numbers looking?
They're looking pretty much the same as last week.
Okay. Aliens
Aliens
slightly
winning,
ahead.
Slither a little behind, Body Snatchers way behind.
Okay.
That's a shame.
So get your votes in ASAP. You have until the end of the month to
Yeah.
do.
We're only
so.
about halfway there. You still got a couple
Yeah.
weeks to go.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to
What
be
else are
talking
you
about a
fucking
good
doing?
movie. Yeah. Now's the
true.
time.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to get really ingrained in our community, you got nothing but time on your hands now, pal.
Yeah.
Let's get in.
Get on it. Also, we want to go ahead and officially announce we're going to be reopening the You Pick the Flick tier on
Whoa.
Patreon.
Whoa.
So if you have been listening and have been wondering to yourself, I'd like to choose a movie for the Straight Chilling crew to review, now is your chance.
And review.
every quarter we open this tier up, and there's only 5 spots available. They tend to go pretty quickly. We're going to be opening it this Sunday, which is going to be March 22nd at noon. It's going to be 5 spots. Get your hands on them while you can. And that's going to be the only 5 spots that are going to be available for April, May, and June. So we'll open it again towards the end of June. So get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot. Nice. The old Patreon.
Also in Patreon news, we have a brand new Patreon supporter.
Whoa!
Preemptive.
We a little bit. We got to give a mad shouts outs to Mads K.
Whoa! Did you
And
just
he
do a
is
thing?
from
I did a thing.
You did
I
a
did it.
thing. Look at you.
Yeah, it's he's from Norway. We got
Norway.
mad love
All right, cool.
in Norway. I keep doing it. Is it
Yeah.
still funny? Is it funny every time I do it? Or no?
It's really funny.
You know,
Okay.
it's
thanks.
diminishing returns on a return that wasn't that big to begin with. So,
Oh wow. I appreciate the brutal honesty.
hey, man.
Big thanks for all the love and support, Mads. It means a lot to us. And as is customary around these parts, we got to give you the old straight chilling salute. This one goes out to Mads.
Slap my ass!
Dude, slap my ass.
Slap
all the way
my
to
ass.
Norway. That is man, when you start from Norway and you make it all the way to Southern
That's got to be
Korea,
a pretty hefty slap.
yeah, that slap is going to have some momentum.
It's gonna have some real stank on it.
That's a stanky slap.
Right in the ass.
Right inside of the ass. Cool. That's
Oh,
all we
Jesus.
got going on for the Patreon. Justin, you got any news or housekeeping, Brad?
I do. Let's keep some houses. So if you enjoy horror video games, if you didn't know, you can watch me play horror video games on our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/straight chillin' podcast. I have started playing BioShock for this month. And so you can tune in. If you missed the live stream, then it stays up there for a hot minute on Twitch. You can watch it there. And also coming up this week on our YouTube page is going to be a brand new Vigigame review. I'm going to be talking about Alien Isolation, which is the game I played last month, which is a really dope game in the Alien franchise. So keep an eye out for that on youtube.com/straight chillin' podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and slam that bell
Slam that bell.
for your weekly for some weekly horror content from the Straight Chillin' podcast on our YouTube channel. What's that, Randy?
It's just a shame that we don't have a pro wrestling podcast because we really have the promos for it. You really do.
Slam that bell.
Welcome to Slamcast!
Yeah. Help us beat that algorithm straight to the top.
Beat its ass.
To be the algorithm, you have to beat the algorithm.
We're trying to beat some algorithm ass over here. Please slam our bell.
Slam us in the bell, please.
Okay, well now that's an entirely other subsect of culture now.
Could you please slam me in my bell?
Just full on abandoning the wrestling concept at that point.
So yeah, that's some housekeeping. I think that's about it.
Yep, I think that's all we got. This house has been kept. Let's go ahead and talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Randy, what have you been watching?
Oh, is there no end to what I've been watching?
Yeah, well,
Quarantine has
next week-
begun.
Next week is gonna
yeah,
be a
I know.
long segment.
Like, what is the Real Housewives really like? Well, let's check it out.
Who are they?
Let me about
They're
the
so
Housewives.
real.
So just a couple things I watched. I got Luigi's Mansion 3. I
Nice.
never buy video games. That's a huge deal for me to purchase a video game because I don't like spending money.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking good
False.
so far. I enjoy it. It's silly and it's fun and it's spooky in all the fun ways. So there you go.
Cool.
I've never actually played any Luigi's Mansion game though.
Oh, really? I played OG for because it like launched with the GameCube or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
I always wanted that, but I didn't like like I said, I don't like buying. I didn't have money to buy video games, so I just didn't really do it. But what else? I saw Mrs. Doubtfire, inspired by our conversation about it on our Slack channel.
Just had to watch it. Huh?
And I will say he came off more sympathetic when I was watching it through my own lens. I don't change my opinion really, but I give him a little bit more slack. I still think he crosses a line into being
on paper.
A fucking
It sounds
lunatic.
Crazy, but when you see Robin Williams, you're like, oh.
I think those are actionably objectionable things that he does. But
sure,
yeah.
Aside from that, what really made the viewing experience pleasant was that I really pissed off Becky by talking about the theory the whole time. The whole movie. She got very upset with me. It's like, shut up, I like this movie.
I don't know. Do you guys think I could like stroll up in your house one day in a disguise and there would just be no way that you would not recognize me?
No.
You look so familiar.
You keep calling me my guy.
Well, hello there, my guy.
Hello, my guy. Would you like a finger in the mouth?
Justin, what are you doing? It's Justina, my guy.
You don't have Robin Williams' ability to pass. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But what else? Oh, the last thing on my list was McMillions. Have you guys watched this documentary on HBO? Rob,
I was going to talk about that too. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. So it's all set in Jacksonville, which I didn't know going in. Like the entire fucking conspiracy.
Oh, is that about the McDonald's like Monopoly thing?
Monopoly game ripoff scam. Not really scam. I'm sorry, that's not really right. Is
we're
exploited. And there's a whole documentary about how it was like totally exploited, and like almost every winner over the course of the entire promotion has always been a member of the mob or related somehow to the mob. It's fucking crazy. And the Jacksonville mob, which I was somehow not aware of.
Damn, the Jacksonville mob.
I guess. Like, well, they were all over stuff, but
I need to get indebted to those.
It's all happened in Jacksonville. They were operating on
finally make it.
Yeah, I guess
totally.
So. If you want to sponsor us, mob, you can reach us at Rob's email address.
Patreon.com/straightshowingpodcast. Sign up at the $5 level. We'll let you vote on the monthly poll picks.
We're for sale.
Thank you. We are.
So yeah, it's a pretty fun. It's like a true crime documentary, but like unlike most of the recent ones, which are just cripplingly depressing in nature, this one is more like a crime. I don't know, like a crime, like a heist film. Like, but I don't know. It's dumb.
I mean,
it has the cadence of a fun heist film.
Who got hurt? No.
A lot of people. I haven't finished it.
People got hurt.
I think I've only seen like 3 episodes or so. So I'm still working through it. But so far, it's like blowing my mind. It's really good.
Yeah, no, but you don't watch it out of like trying to keep McDonald's honorable. That's not the goal of this documentary. It doesn't give a shit about that.
What?
Yeah.
Right.
They're not protecting McDonald's image.
I mean, they probably are a little bit, but like, there's it's just not about them. It doesn't.
It's produced by Mark Wahlberg. I don't know if he gives a shit.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah. He's still.
I
don't know.
Anything else, Randy?
Nope. I'm done.
All right, Juice. It's your time to talk. What you been watching?
Thanks, Bob. Do I?
You're allowed now.
I get the ball. Yeah, you gonna pass it off to me now? Okay. All right. Only me. I watched season 3 of Castlevania. That show is dope. You guys need what?
I thought for sure you were gonna stop at Castles, like that fucking
Castle.
That show about the writer who's also a detective or some shit.
Nope.
You know that on CBS?
Yeah.
Nope.
I've heard of it. Castlevania, which is a dope series. Season 3, it just came out last Friday or whatever. So it's the longest so far, but even still, it's only like 10 episodes and they're like 25 minutes a piece. So you could still burn through it pretty quickly. That whole series is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I did do a mini cast on the first 2 seasons together, and I'll do a mini cast on this one as well. But I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I assume they're going to be having a 4th season coming up the way they ended it and everything. So that's exciting. I watched that, and I've been also working through the last season of BoJack Horseman. I'm not finished yet. I still got a handful of episodes, but they are really like handling and wrapping that show up really well. I've talked about it throughout the years on this cast because I just watch every time a season comes out, and it is like one of the most like real like depressing shows, despite its like wacky like animation or whatever. That shit is like a lot of stuff is like really hard to like deal with. So you kind of have to be in the right mindset, but it's good. Like it's really well written. I'm really curious to how it's going to end.
I know what you mean. I started watching Atlanta also.
Yeah. Woke Randy.
Yeah. He finally woke up. Finally.
I woke, dude.
And let's see. I think that's it.
Cool. I watched a couple movies.
Hang on,
Bob.
Bob. Let me pass you the ball.
You passing the straight chilling talking stick?
Yep, here you go, Bob. Here, passing it through the screen.
Thank you.
This is a good bit. I like
This
this
is
bit.
just a dildo. What are you doing?
What? You had to go there, Bob. You just had to go there.
Bob's MO.
It's redder than the devil's dick. So I watched this movie called Uncut Gems.
Oh,
the wacky Adam Sandler movie.
It's so
Adam
wacky.
Sandler drama. He's in a drama. Got a serious role. It's put out by A24. It's about this guy who owns a shop in the Diamond District in New York City. And he's like addicted to gambling and gets indebted to some pretty rough people. One of them is actually a family member. And he just owes a lot of people a lot of money and makes a lot of poor life decisions. And he gets this opal from Africa, and it's like supposedly worth somewhere along the lines of like $1 million. And when he finally gets it, he has it reappraised to confirm the value, and it's like maybe a quarter of that. And it's just I don't know, things just kind of spiral out of control, and he's trying to get one up on everybody, and he's just unable to do so. Adam Sandler really kind of brings this movie home with like a really, really strong performance. It's like a 2.5 hour long movie. However, throughout the entire runtime, I was never bored for like a second. Like it just like really had me enthralled start to finish, and it's totally worth watching. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other Adam Sandler movies where he went serious. I haven't seen this yet, but he
Punch Drunk
did.
Love.
Yeah, that was the one that I always think of. But I think he also did. It's the Merkowitz stories, or what? You know that movie?
I don't know about that one.
Meyerowitz, something like that. I don't know. There's something on. He did another Netflix production that was that. And I think that was a serious film also. But I mean, that's pretty rare for him at his age. I think he's just going like for broke on everything.
Yeah, he really did a great job. He even like changes his voice a little bit, and he does a really great job with the whole thing. I recommend checking it out. I think it is actually going to hit Netflix soon. I want to say like in the next couple weeks, it's going to be on Netflix or something like that. So if you don't want to buy it,
I think it's already there, maybe.
Maybe it is. I haven't looked in a while. It very well could be, but
anyway,
it'll be there soon enough if it's not. Also, I watched Danzig's directorial debut. It's a little movie called Veronica. And this is based off his comic book series of the same name. The character of Veronica in the movie, anyways, I haven't read the comic book, so I don't know really anything about him. The character of Veronica, she's sort of like almost like a movie host. And she introduces the 3 different segments of this anthology that is Veronica, and the segments are they're like barely stories. This movie is bad. It's very, very bad.
Oh, Bob, you were so excited about it too.
I was so excited.
You were so excited.
It looks like Danzig shot this in my garage with like $50.
You wish.
Wow.
I kind of do. No, probably not though. Like, Danzig, get the fuck out of my garage. This is like the horniest movie I've ever seen. It's like
How many
Danzig's-
Q-chays were you popping throughout this movie?
0. It's 0 QJs from Bob.
So only
but I'm not
horny
here to
for
kink shame.
Danzig.
I'm not king shaming.
This
Danzig,
is
but-
yeah. This movie was made horny. It's not for horny.
right.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah, he was just like, I want to see some fucked up shit. I'm so horny. God damn it.
damn.
I just want to like describe
God
the
damn.
first. I want to describe the first segment. So there's three shorts in this movie. The first one, it takes place in France. So everybody in the story has this like French accent. They're speaking English, but they have a French accent, and it's like very, very bad. Everybody has a horrible, horrible French accent, and it's about this woman. It's about this woman who, she's in her apartment making out with her lover, and he pops her top off, and she has eyeballs where her nipples should be.
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Spoilers.
Does that count as a yabo? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't
do you-
know.
like
I
the
don't get
the full
So-
nipple, or like
Yeah, it's just eyeballs. It's
yeah,
just eyeballs. Yeah.
just huh.
So he gets freaked out and leaves, and she's very sad and starts crying. And there's this little like gray spider that is some of the worst like CGI shit I've ever seen. This little spider like catches one of her tears or something, and then when she falls asleep, the spider becomes like a person. Like it's a person in a costume, like a spider costume you would buy for your kid, where it's got like 6 arms tied to your kid's 2 real arms.
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
raises his arms, all the arms go up and down. It's like that, but it's a full-grown man in it. It's horrible. And this like spider speaks English with a terrible French accent, and he goes around killing these women, but he also like says like really sadistic, twisted things to them before he murders them. It's just like
What?
really weird, man. Like Danzig wants to be a spider banging a woman or something. I don't know
Don't
how
kink
to
shame,
describe
Bob. That's
It's-
not
you
what
know
we're
what?
about here.
that. You're correct. I retract that. If you want to be a spider,
Bang
bang somebody, that's cool. That's cool.
Rob just doesn't like your movie about it.
I just don't like your movie about it. That's right. Don't make shitty movies about it. Or if you're gonna make,
Make
a movie
good
about it, make it
movies
cool.
about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to see the real Spider-Man.
Yeah, I want to be like, dudes, you got to watch this movie about this French spider banging chicks. It's great.
Dude, it totally worked for
great.
Del Toro. It worked for Del Toro. You could do the same shit. Get an Oscar, baby.
Oh my god, they caught, and so there's detectives trying to track down like this serial killer, which is a spider,
The
and they
spider.
call him like Le Neck Snaphead.
They don't call him Spider-Man?
I'm not making this shit up. I'm not making this up.
Spider-Man
Anyway,
is a
that's-
better name.
They don't call him
Spider-Man.
Lay Spider-Man?
Le Spider-Man. That is a better name. New band name, Le Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man.
That's a little taste of what Veronica's all about. That's what I've been
Jesus
watching.
Christ. Le
It's-
Spider-Man.
Le Spider-Man.
It's your boy, Lay Spider-Man.
That's a movie I would watch. I would watch that.
It might be better than this, apparently.
It's-
Apparently,
yeah,
we need
it
to be
sounds like
making
it.
films because
Yeah,
other people
because-
are, and they're getting.
You know, based on
attention.
based on
pretty rough.
our own opinions, it seems like we should be, but probably not.
Probably no one else's. No one
Probably no one else's. We're just gonna make our own spider film.
There you go.
else's. Yeah. That's what I've been watching. Let's go ahead and get to the main event here and kick it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, did you
Well-
get
Alright.
the Steelbook?
No, I didn't even waste my time seeing if this is physical. I didn't.
It's
I
on
I
just-
know.
DVD.
Bob provided the link
Bob.
this time. Bob provided
Yeah.
the digital link this time.
Yeah,
Wasn't even me.
I do not.
I'm
use
ashamed of you,
that.
Bob. I was hoping you were gonna buy that DVD that has the Joe Bob commentary on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Bob.
true. You did tell me that existed, and I was like, that's too much.
This would be a gem on your shelf.
I think it was like $17. It's
Would
that's
never
probably
pay
too
that
much. That's probably
Way
too
too
much.
So this movie was chosen by Michael from Horror Apocalypse. Fucking A, Michael. The movie's called The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies from 1964.
Mm-hmm.
Plot synopsis is as follows. I use the word synopsis so loosely. Jerry falls in love with a stripper he meets at a carnival. Little does he know that she is the sister of a gypsy fortune teller whose predictions he had scoffed at earlier. The gypsy turns him into a zombie and he goes on a killing spree. Yep. Director Ray Dennis Steckler.
Steckler.
Oh, Steckler.
Stars Ray Dennis Steckler.
I mean-
He's got a look to him, and he's not a particularly good actor.
You mean Gus? What's his name? And what did he rename himself in the credits?
Jerry.
Cash
Flag.
Flag.
Cash Flag. That's who we're his alter ego, Cash Flag.
So hang on,
Johnny Dangerously.
I had a comment about the. I didn't realize that Ray Dennis Steckler was Jerry, and I had a comment about Jerry's look, and I didn't realize that until you guys brought that up about he's got a look to him. Well, I was just gonna say he looks like inbred.
No.
He looks like he should. He looks like he should be chilling in fucking The Hills Have Eyes. Like,
damn, Jesus Christ!
He's not a conehead.
I was like, what's wrong?
His face
with
is
this
not
guy?
melty. Even if it was,
he looks weird.
Yeah, well, I don't
didn't
know.
realize that was
no, but I don't
name
want to
is-
diss on the spec on that.
Also, his name is Cash Flag. so-
Cash Flag.
Which
That
is
sounds
What
like
a
a pawn shop.
Flag has 2 G's for some reason.
Cash Flag. It sounds like it sounds like either a fucking pawn shop or a Marvel character.
2 G's. That was the budget of this movie. So
it's not far off.
Yeah, closer than you think.
let's
It's about
Have
a
you guys-
jet ski.
now this was you could buy 2 jet skis for the
Rob,
price
you
of one.
could have made a movie last year with the budget.
Oh. Okay, let's do this. Have you guys seen this movie and would you recommend people check it out? Randy?
Yes, I have seen this movie prior to today.
Really?
This week. Yes,
Wow.
and as I mentioned last week,
Wow.
it's purely and entirely because it's an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000,
Oh, that's
which
right.
I love and
Yeah,
grew
you
up
did mention
with.
that. Yeah.
So I have seen this once before, not multiple times or anything,
Wow.
but once before. And I remember even like in that situation being like, Jesus Christ, this is a tough one. Even with people, paid comedians, making paid jokes on top of this fucking movie, still made it pretty hard. Yeah, not my favorite episode. I'll tell you that.
So you hardly
Oh, would I recommend it? I would recommend. Only I couldn't, in good conscience, recommend anybody watch this without the Mystery Science Theater 3000 track. It's a smaller bullet that way. You still have to take it though.
Yeah. Juice, what about you?
This is a pretty good movie, and I would recommend you watch it, and I would stake my reputation on that recommendation.
Your
No,
performance is as bad as Jerry's.
Yeah, I already did this bit for Michael's last terrible movie that he watched, where I pretended like it wasn't as bad as you guys were making it out to be. So
That
I
was,
can't. I
hell of a
can't do
bit.
it.
Real fun for one person.
I can't do it again. This movie's terrible. It is considered one of the worst movies of all time. So
Yeah,
don't watch it.
that's a title
Mhm.
given out pretty lightly, but
And
not in this case.
Yeah, and it's from the 60s. One of the worst movies of all time made in the 60s. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. So
Yeah, but
let's get
you
into
can-
it. I
But you
guess.
can watch it with Mystery Science.
Yeah, you can have people whose job it is to be funny make jokes
Yeah.
on top of it.
So
And still-
least
and
there's-
that'll
you
make
got
it
that.
It's like the honey that makes the medicine go down because that shit's
It's a
still
little better.
nasty.
Yeah.
It's a little
Rob,
better.
Rob, have you seen this before? Would you recommend that our viewers watch this?
You know, I had never seen this before.
Yeah.
Would not recommend. I watched it with the MST 3K folks, razzing it, and man, it helped a little bit, specifically in the latter half of it. But the first 45 minutes of this movie is nothing.
What were they even joking about? I watched this straight. So I watched this not with commentary. I watched it straight as a movie. I was trying to be a purist. And
You paid.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it, but like I don't even know what they were talking about in the first 40 minutes.
I don't recommend for sure. If you do watch it, watch it with friends and have a drink or whatever, and watch the MST3K version for sure. This shit is pretty hard to get through, and it's only 80 minutes long. It's still pretty tough. So there you go. We'll drop the laughable spoiler warning and talk about the rest of it.
Spoiler warning.
That was hilarious.
You've been warned. Thanks, man. Hilarious. So there's really not much plot.
So,
this movie's
I
mostly
thought
just
Jerry
like a
looked inbred.
montage of singing and dancing.
Yeah, which
this
is a weird choice. Which I'm just gonna drop trivia like throughout because I think it just might make this commentary like more interesting.
It's the way to make it interesting.
That
is the way to do it. The only amp.
So talking about girls, they shot all the musical numbers were filmed in a single day, in one day. So, and it was so bad apparently. So there's a lot of like just dancing and music in this. I don't know why that was his choice.
And a stand-up comedian somehow.
Yeah, but he had the dancing girls in the earlier scenes chew gum as they danced, hoping it would distract from their bad footwork. So not only did he just lean into like
what?
What? Oh my god, this fucking guy. Who gave this guy money and what like
This is so dumb.
The chick who plays Angie, I guess the real chick or the real actress who was supposed to play Angie backed out legit like the night before they were supposed to start filming. And
Really?
So the girl who plays Angie was just one of the bad dancers who was chewing gum, I guess, who he just grabbed. It's like, you're the lead now.
That hair was pretty high. It makes sense.
Yeah, so
huge hair.
Yeah,
huge.
this was really sounds like quality filming set, some great ideas popping around. But yeah, it was all filmed in one day, the musical numbers.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
Cool.
This fucking movie is like, is the argument that it's also a showcase of dance numbers and shit like that? Because that's not what this comes off as. This comes off as like home footage almost of a fucking nightclub, the back of a dingy nightclub as people just dance around for the entire first half of the movie.
Yeah, I legit kept getting confused. It's not even edited well in like where it cuts. Because you're right, sometimes it just cuts to this guy telling jokes. And I couldn't understand.
It's like the MC or something. It's like, my wife, take her, please.
Yeah, please. And I just couldn't understand. It took me a long time, and I still don't quite understand why. Like, I understand the overall setting context, I guess, but
they just this movie pads out.
Viewing this movie, I was just like, why? Why is this happening?
It's because that's how long was this movie? An hour and 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that was all padding, and it could not be more painfully obvious from the jump that he was padding out the movie.
Yeah. If you took like the main characters and the actual story of this movie, it would take maybe and like cut all the scenes out. Right? It would take
max.
Max.
It's an episode of Degrassi.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. It's
so Jerry, our main character, is like Jerry. He's just kind of like this panty waist of a person. Like, he doesn't have really any personality. Like he doesn't have a job, and like his reasoning is like, jobs make people depressed, and I don't want to be depressed, so I don't have to work. He's just like this shitball that
He's
you don't like.
basically
But
like the
the
absurd version of like a teenage slacker in the 50s.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're really
he's like
absurd version.
35.
Yeah.
Teenager.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Let's
saying
go to
though.
the
Like
carnival,
but that's the
babe.
role he's playing is like
It is.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
a 30-year-old man
Mom
acting like
gave me a
the
$5.
shittiest teenager of all time.
I
Yeah,
gotta
and then
see.
they go to the carnival, and there's like a strip scene, or well, they don't even really strip. It's more like burlesque, I guess.
It's
or
a
something
yeah, it's
that.
like a burlesque show.
If that. This
Yeah,
is not a
if
sexy
that, yeah.
performance on any
It's
It
not
was
really.
the 60s, but I don't know.
I know. I've seen pictures of women from the 60s. Like
I bet
They
you
don't-
All right,
have,
Randy,
Randy.
they don't have to
brag.
they don't have they don't have to this is like a dance. This is purely a dance number. It has no
Yeah.
sexuality to it. I don't think it's intentionally
Yeah.
sexy at all.
Well, it's perceived that way by at least his girlfriend, and she's like not about it. She's like, I'm out of here, and he's
Yeah, well,
like,
there's-
whatever,
she's a
babe, I'm
stripper, like-
staying. I'm staying for the show, and it's like it just makes you hate Jerry even more. Like this fucker, this fucking guy.
There's like yeah, everybody sucks. It's another one of those movies where I'm like,
yes.
no, everybody sucks.
The gypsy lady's all right. She's just
Really?
turning people
Is
into
she?
zombies.
What?
That
Whatever.
lady, holy like at least she's like I can remember what her face looks like. That's pretty
Yeah, I
uncommon for
guess.
this film.
What's this?
Yeah.
She's got like blackface on.
Yeah, she's got.
Really?
No, yeah, she's definitely.
Are you
remember that.
serious?
Yeah, she's
This movie is hard to recall. I'm sorry.
no, she's like smeared with like I don't know early makeup for like foundation in a color that's not hers.
She's supposed to look more ethnic.
Romani
than
or whatever.
she is. Yeah.
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 And the mole, man. I mean, how do you
This
forget that mole? That
giant
mole is the
huge-
No, I
star
remember
of
the
this
mole.
fucking movie.
I remember the mole.
Okay.
Mole, mole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's see. Cash Flag with two
Cash.
he was, let's see, he was born in 1938. So he was, how old was he when this movie? 64. Let's do some quick. 26? 36.
Yeah, 30.
No.
I don't know.
26.
What numbers did you say? I don't even know.
He was born
It
in
doesn't matter.
1938.
He's not 17. That's all we need to know.
So
He's
26.
26.
So he looks much older.
Yes.
Also inbred.
Yeah.
I don't want to be touching on that.
Yeah, they
also-
ride some rides. They
He's
see
got
some
a friend.
songs.
They got their
So he's-
fucking money's worth on that footage of fucking carnivals too. My
He's
God.
he's got a friend. Cash Flag has a friend.
Yeah, he's got a
Jerry,
roommate or something.
who reminds me with I don't know where this guy's from, but he reminded me of Tommy Wiseau, like the way he talked.
Dude, that was the
Hi,
funniest.
Mark.
That was the funniest bit about the Mystery Science Theater version is that whenever that guy talks, they do this impression and it sounds exactly like him to me because the sound quality in this is awful and his accent is so like particular that it comes out sound like all the time. And they just did that throughout the entire show. That was the most entertaining part of watching this video was that joke.
Randy, did you watch the MST3K version this time around, or did you watch it straight?
Oh yeah, man. I knew what I like.
All right.
Even watching that movie like the first time, watching it on just to watch Mystery Science Theater, I was like, I don't think I can rewatch this episode. And then I had to watch this movie. So there's no way I was going to watch the actual movie. I'm sorry.
My favorite part of this, and it's solely because of the MST3K guys, is when the gypsy is hypnotizing Jerry, and it's like kind of a long sequence. It's like a 5-minute sequence
Forever,
of him
dude.
being like hypnotized. And the gypsy's like right-hand dude, I forget his name, is like kind of in the background just like booming. And the MST3K guys are riffing on like him whispering things to her. And as she's like spinning this wheel and hypnotizing Jerry, this guy's like creeping over her shoulder going like, ma'am, that poison shipment came in and I just need you to sign for it. Just if you could just sign right here for it. And in between her like nonsense gobbledygook hypnotist speak. It's just, I don't know, that show's cracking me up pretty good.
Also, I felt
so
like
we
that
got
dude
that
was
to look
kind of
forward to.
racist too. I felt like they like really
Yeah.
accentuated
Like-
his like features, like really pointy.
He had like a paper
nose.
mache nose or some shit with like those
Yeah.
like it looked like one of those plastic nose and mustache glasses that you got as a kid. Like that's basically the costume this guy was
It's
wearing.
like,
What was his name? Ortega?
I
The
don't
way she
know.
spoke too is
Oh,
super
yeah,
funny.
Ortega, yeah.
They made this on the Mystery Science Theater like use her line "filthy pig" like 1,000 times. Filthy pig. And that shit was
Band
pretty
name, Filthy Pig.
filthy
Pig.
pig.
Filthy.
I don't know what this fucking like. This is not even acting. It's you could barely call it reading.
There were at least 4 dance scenes in this movie.
Minimum. I think there was 4 dance scenes in the first half.
Dude,
Was
really?
there? God
Really?
damn it. So okay, I guess we should talk about the plot. So
Do we
Jerry and his
We kind of did. It's like,
Jerry gets
He gets hypnotized and
zombified,
eats
and
people,
zombie
you know?
just means hypnotized for the night, and he kills
she
people
like
that offends
burns
her.
them though, like she like
And then
to
eventually
make
he gets
zombies,
shot.
she like burns their face or whatever.
She
with-
does that, yeah. I don't know what that
and
is.
I couldn't even tell like why she was killing, because she kills the people who like work at the carnival. So the first one,
Yeah.
she's like a dancer. She sees like a black cat, and then she goes to the like fortune teller and is like, what's gonna happen to me? And the fortune teller is like, you're gonna die. But then the fortune teller is the one who has her murdered from
Dude, how do you think her
Jerry.
predictions are so right? That's how you
But
do it.
like, why was she like
I know.
robbing them? Was she like?
She's a bad guy.
She literally just kills the other people she works with, but not because they like have wronged her or anything. Literally, that's just the people who got. Like,
Just
I don't-
incidentally.
There's no rhyme or reason to like anything that happens.
Nothing-
They're just like sketchy gypsies who kill people.
This movie is 1,000% from the perspective of Jerry, and Jerry, like it's written as if no other perspectives actually exist. It's just Jerry dreaming up people around him.
I love how when Jerry gets hypnotized and he goes on his like murdering sprees, you can tell that he's like evil quote zombie Jerry because he looks like fucking Eminem from 8 Mile. He's got like his gray hoodie
Look.
up over his head.
Whoa,
A little bit of spaghetti vomit right there on the
Yeah.
chest. That's
Oh,
how you
yeah.
can tell.
That's not against gray hoodies, Bob.
I'm a red hoodie man. Sorry. Sorry
Oh,
to say.
hey, aping my stuff.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey.
oh, hey,
Ooh.
guy. Whoa.
Ah.
Is that Eminem? Can I get your eye? Oh no!
Oh, it's me,
no,
Eminem. Oh, he.
Oh,
It's Jerry.
Oh, he's Jerry. Damn it, Jerry. So
Um,
he goes to like apologize to his girlfriend at one point after watching the burlesque show or whatever you want to call it, and she's lounging by the pool, and she inexplicably has an umbrella and starts spinning it at him, and that also hypnotizes him, and then
And he
tries
chokes
to
her
murder
out.
Yeah, he
It's
chokes a bitch
inexplicable.
out.
Why
Also,
would you casually spin your umbrella like that, like while talking to somebody?
also, fuck that chick's brother who like is just
Yeah.
watching his sister get choked out.
He's just like, you're a real
Yeah,
piece
that's
of
true.
work, Jer.
oh, Jerry.
Jerry's at it again. Oh, unemployed.
Classic
ass
Jerry.
At least he's not depressed. Jerry.
Oh God! And then
Oh,
God,
Jesus
everybody
Christ.
sucks so much. The mom just like nags at her daughter, but then she lets her go off with him like into the night.
Yeah,
to go,
yeah.
like, oh my
Into
God.
the night.
Or like with they had this whole discussion like, Mom, can I go look for Jerry? It's like, this.
This movie is padding the film. Like the entire film
Yeah,
is
in
padding.
order to just fill more space, they have to have this
Yeah.
whole like discussion
like the-
about whether Angie can go look for her missing boyfriend.
That's another Tommy Wiseau
Like,
move, man.
Yeah, sketchy. Yeah, sketchy. Yeah, that guy.
It's a total
Roommate.
Tommy Wiseau move because it's like the scene in the room where the mom talks about having cancer and it's never brought up again.
Yeah. It's
Like-
this is the OG Tommy Wiseau. This is where he got his inspiration from.
Yeah. What if Tommy Wiseau was just Cash Flag, which is much older? and with a wig
Dude,
on.
he might be that
Damn.
OG guy. The guy, the roommate. What's that guy's name? Harold? Is that his name?
Sure.
I think it's
That
Harold.
sounds about 60s in
Probably.
there.
Probably.
I don't know. I just don't know.
God.
Towards the end, where like a bunch of the zombies are running around, they're not even zombies.
Yeah,
they're just weird.
That's the
people,
biggest
but-
bummer of all. You watch this movie for the title, and then the one promise that is actually engaging about the title
Yeah.
is like, tell me this: who are the incredibly strange creatures that get turned into mixed up zombies? Are they Cash Flag? That's it. He's just on his own merits is just considered incredibly strange, and then he becomes a zombie.
I mean, at the end, they let loose like the creature, or it's just
Yeah, but they
people
weren't
they're-
creature. I don't know.
No, yeah, they're
they're
just
just
people who've like
hypnotized
been
folk.
burned. Yeah,
It's like they found mole people and they're turning the mole people into zombies. But no, these are just people being turned into like not even zombies, just people who sleepwalk and murder.
It's a misnomer.
Well, one of the zombies or whatever comes out of the gypsy's closet, like towards the end of the movie, to attack people. And this is another like nod to MST3K, and they walk out like, with their arms outstretched, almost like Frankenstein-ish, but their fingertips are pointed to the sky. And as they're walking out, one of the MST3K guys goes like, "Oh, I'd love to attack, but my nails aren't dry yet." So at least we got that.
There you go.
At least we got that.
Got Bob a chuckle.
Now, the end of the movie is like, I guess Jerry runs. So the carnival is like next to the beach. He runs out on the beach, and he like runs up into the rocks, and he falls off the rocks into like the water and like dies or something. Yeah, roll credits.
Let me give you some trivia for that.
Cool. Please.
They shot that scene, and it was supposed to be, I guess, apparently it was supposed to be shot going from day into night or whatever, so, but they were on the beach like in the dark, and I doubt this dude had any money for lighting, so apparently it just looked really bad, the night shots, and so he just cut them out. So this whole sequence that was shot, it's supposed to be going from day to night. The whole night sequences are just gone. And so it just ends with the day shots.
Well,
probably doesn't affect the movie that much. I probably
that's probably where there's extra padding. I mean, that might be why there's extra
that's why we were missing 10 minutes.
Cut?
It was supposed to be an hour and a half. We only got 80
God. I was thinking that like he added extra. I
not.
don't know, man. Jesus Christ.
Dude, oh my God.
So this movie's done, right?
How much? Do you guys know how much money it took to make this movie? Does anybody know?
I know.
You
I'm pretty
not
sure.
exactly.
I know.
I want Bob to guess. Bob, how much money do you think it cost to make this film?
So we're talking $1964.
1964.
How many ski-doos?
Okay, this guy got a loan from his mom.
Yes.
For $1,200.
12. It's a little bit higher than that, but still, this is blowing my mind. At $38,000, so total budget $38,000. This had the highest production cost of any Ray Dennis Steckler feature. So Cash Flag has never made a movie with more than a $38,000 budget, and this was it.
Woof.
And this was it.
Around here, that means big money.
Yes, big money.
Ray Steckler, he thought that he was like, I can make a movie with this. How much did he just pocket?
So here's what happened with that. This is going to eat into your trivia juice, but this is something from the Joe Bob intro. Yeah, what else are we fucking doing here? Yeah. Talk about Ortega's nose. So Joe Bob mentioned that they made this movie for that amount of money, and a majority of the budget went to legal defenses from being sued by Stanley Kubrick's film Dr. Strangelove and How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, because at one time this movie's title was much more similar to that. I can't remember what it originally was.
Oh yeah.
So they had to like change it at the last minute to this, but they still wanted it to be like uber long for whatever reason. And yeah, I don't know. So most of the legal fees went to that. So Rob, you might have actually been more on the money than we think.
$1,200.
If it hadn't been for that, it might have been $1,200.
Hang on. In talking off of that, hang on. Steckler amazed that Columbia would feel so threatened by a $38,000 film, phoned the studio to straighten things out. He made no progress until he demanded that Stanley Kubrick get on the line. When Kubrick picked up, so apparently that worked, Steckler suggested the new title. Kubrick accepted, and the matter was dropped.
Kubrick's just like, fine. Just
yeah. Who the fuck?
That's fine. The guy who famously never settles for anything was just like, I can't deal with you, Cash Flag.
This guy has broken me. He's broken my will.
Just take name it whatever the fuck you want, you dick.
Oh my god. This was here's a little bit of horror history, I guess.
Stuff.
Yeah, this apparently was the first this is saying that this is the first horror musical ever made.
That is a generous application of the term music. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. That's a real good point.
That's what IMDb says. Huh.
Aren't you being a little stupid?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we're supposed to fill a whole amount of time with talking about this movie. And I don't know
pick better movies, people. I don't know. Like there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, so this movie is mostly dancing. That's most of what you'll remember because it's most of what you see before you start falling asleep.
Yeah.
Are there any even good kills? Let's can we run down who died?
There's really not. No, I can't. I couldn't begin to do that.
Jerry dies.
I couldn't begin. Jerry was a race car
dancer
driver.
Dies. Sure was.
There was one scene that kind of gave me a chuckle was two people who eventually die. They work at the carnival, I guess. And this guy's asking this girl out, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna take me out on a nice date?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought I'd just come by your place and you'd cook me dinner."
Damn.
So I'm just gonna slave. I'm gonna slave over a stove for you. And he's like, "Yeah." And then she just accepts it. Okay, well, I'll see.
Well, yeah, it's the '60s.
This movie's fucked.
Yeah, this movie's really fucked.
She's like, "Well, all right, 6 o'clock it is."
All right.
And then they die. Then they get murdered by Jerry.
Let's talk about what we like about this movie. Does anybody have something? What do you like?
Some of the MST3K jokes.
Same.
You know what I liked? You know what I liked about this movie?
What do you like?
The opening sequence, the opening credit sequence, was pretty cool.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah,
it's Jerry's face, I think, and it changes color.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Kind of sketched out or whatever.
Yeah, and I like that too. Actually, I remember.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah,
that's all.
Do we need to talk about anything else, or should we just rate this thing?
It was the first monster musical, beating out The Horror of Party Beach, 1964, by a month. Sorry.
Yet again, really not either of those things. Still.
Yeah, I guess there's
a monster. It's not a monster.
It's like a shitty music video. It's way too long.
Dude, I would, if somebody were to do one of those live scores or something to this movie, I would watch that. I would watch that, mute the fuck out of the movie, and just let some I don't know, Muse or some shit just shred all over it. It'll be interesting. I'm onto that. That's the only way you'll get me to view this again.
Oh, Cash Flag, man, this dude.
He's a tenacious dude. I gotta give that dude credit.
Yeah. Apparently he kept trying to re-release this film with different titles. So people just wouldn't know it was the same shitty film that they all the critics hated this, by the way.
He's trying to make his 38K back.
Yeah,
Desperately.
some other titles that this was released under: The Incredibly Mixed Up Zombie. Nope. Diabolical Doctor Voodoo. I don't know why that is even.
No.
And The Teenage Psycho meets Bloody Mary. God, this dude sucks at
Bloody
naming movies.
Mary. Dude, he does if all his only goal is to get you into one seat.
Yeah, pretty much. This dude's
just get in the goddamn seat.
He puts
a bait
all
and
his
switch.
money into tricking people instead of making quality films.
Shit. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. This is a grifter film. That's what this is.
Yeah.
I gotta give credit though, man. There's a hustle going on.
I guess.
You are generous.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weak hustle. This is.
I respect hard work.
I don't respect it at all.
Zero respect hard work.
This is garbage. This is complete garbage. Rate this thing. Yeah. Unless you got anything else.
I like this piece of trivia just because it's when Jerry drives the station wagon, he is driving Ray Dennis Steckler's car, but Jerry is Ray Dennis Steckler. So it's just the way it's worded. It's like, so Jerry's driving his own car.
You guys just want to read IMDb
his own race car.
Just review
That's what I'm doing.
There we go.
Yeah, that's.
Got to pad time like our old boy Steck.
No, we don't. Let's just rate this thing.
No, we don't.
Yeah. Out of 5, Randy, how you feel?
Oh, how many ways can I say 0?
One way.
I've never I gotta give this a 0. I think whatever.
Oh,
I gotta look it up, but there was another movie that I gave a 0 once. Well, I don't know what it was, but this movie's fucking difficult to watch. Having watched it twice now, even with the honey with the medicine, it still sucks to watch. I respect anybody who wants to go out and do their own thing and try and make their film or whatever. No problem with somebody trying, but this is at best a try. So this is a no-go zone for me. I'm gonna give it. I don't want to give it a 0. I want to give it a 0.5. That's it.
I already wrote down 0. Not changed.
Well, sorry. Well,
Bob, no.
I'm just kidding.
You need to slow
did
your
not
roll.
announce
I'm just
it,
kidding.
man. Come on, dude.
Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. This movie is absolute dog shit, but I've given out a few 0s. This movie didn't offend me in any way. It's just really bad.
You're going to make me open the calculator now. That's what you're going to do.
No, I'm not, because I'm
wow.
Gonna, Bob,
did you get
Bob with
Rob,
his damn scores?
Rob, did you by any chance go to the store and get some No More Tears for the quarantine?
God.
No, Randy,
I say break that
out.
open right now.
I did like the opening sequence was like kind of cool, and they tried like to do some effects, like when they burned like the zombies' faces with the acid. Oh God, the terrible like blackface. It's not blackface, but whatever. The making your skin a different race.
Bronze
makeup. I don't know.
Bad makeup.
Yeah.
Makeup. Wet makeup.
I'll give it a
disturbing.
point. I'll give it a 0.5.
Feethy pig.
0.5. Inexplicably, we have 2.5s.
Yeah, it is a little inexplicable.
I can go down to 0.25.
I can't remember
for changing.
I can't remember what I gave The Farm a 0.
The Farm. I would watch The Farm 10 times before I watch this again.
I probably would.
I would rewatch the film. Yeah, I would take The Farm.
10 times.
Yeah,
I didn't give The Farm a 0 though. So
yeah, I know.
Have that justification.
I'm just trying to remember like what I have given a 0.
So you should probably swap those scores. Rob, go back to The Farm and change the score for Justin.
Rob, let's go ahead and sort all of our scores out from the past 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, we're going to amend all this.
Okay.
We've got the time.
The time of reckoning is upon us.
All right, I'll give it a 0.5. I don't know why.
I don't know why either of you have done this to yourselves. This is a 0. This is a big old goose egg.
You don't think there's
sure.
anything redeemable about this film, Bob?
Not really, no.
Not one thing.
The only redeemable things were the things that somebody added to the movie via the commentary.
Yeah.
That's it. That's about it.
Huh.
It's
So what's our ag?
it's a 0.3 repeating.
0.3. Whoop,
Is that
whoop,
our
whoop.
lowest score yet? What did we all give
know.
the Cannibal Corpses?
I think
I don't know.
was that a 0? That might have been the 0.
That might have been a 0.
Maybe.
Oh man.
Let me pull
I
up the
can't
drive.
pull it up right now.
I'll
but
pull it
it's
up.
Slow.
I don't know why I keep asking you guys to.
Well, someone look that up. That's not me.
Someone do my work for me. Oh my God. So 0.3 repeat. Yeah, maybe I should give it a 0. Hang on. I'm reconsidering.
I already wrote it down.
I don't care about your book. Okay?
Oh boy.
I really am not.
Sometimes
concerned.
you gotta make a decision and stick with it, man. You gotta do it.
I disagree.
This is the sound of Justin looking up a spreadsheet.
Well, Rob, you misspelled incredibly strange creatures on the spreadsheet, but it looks like we're locked in. So
I got fat thumbs.
Locked in.
incredibly strange creatures.
Let me
I don't
come.
even care.
Let me
It doesn't
also
matter.
come in here and check Scream and make sure my 0 or my 1.
Oh,
is,
dude. Oh, what? Just look at the freaking whatever the other movie that Michael picked. Whatever the cannibal zombies. I don't even remember what it's called.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpses or no, that's another thing. I don't know.
I don't even Curse of the Confederate Cannibals.
Yeah,
Curse of the Screaming Dead is what it's listed under.
Yeah, it's got 2 names.
We both gave it a 0, and Justin, you gave that a 0.75 actually.
What?
Inexplicable.
You did.
What am I doing over here? Yeah,
What's happening?
There's just
happening?
too much time to fill, and now
I gave it a point.
The whole illusion's falling apart.
I really don't understand that.
I understand it perfectly. You definitely tried to fuck with us by pretending that movie was redeemable.
No, I did try to say it was
and then
good.
you scored it.
I
along
said
those
some of the
lines.
makeup. Some of the makeup was cool, I think, from that movie.
So Scream was only 0.25. It was a quarter of a star better than the Curse
Bob,
of the
you said
Confederate Cannibals.
Hellboy 2019 was better than Suspiria 2018. That's what you said.
That's just one man's opinion, baby. That's just one man's opinion.
You
that's
also
kind of an
think
opinion.
The Being is better than most of the movies you rate. So.
Aren't you being a little stupid?
That's not true. That's kind of true. I like The Being a lot. I actually really like it. Whatever. I get that I'm in the minority. I get it. I don't know. What else do we do on this show? We do other things.
We're going to get arrested.
We also
Next segment, we're gonna get arrested.
This is where we get erected and arrested. Let's jump over to our Rotten Tomatoes segment. See what the users and critics think about this fucking movie.
Certified fresh to death.
Are you guys ready to hear what everyone else thinks of this movie? Because we are gonna do the Rotten Tomatoes for new.
I'm glad there is a
listeners.
Rotten Tomatoes segment.
There is. I was as shocked as you are.
I'm not. I mean,
I'm as shocked as I am horrified. So what we do here is I have at my fingertips the both critic and user score for this film. And I'm going to have these two gentlemen try and guess to the closest estimate between 1 and 100 what that percentage is, which percentage is positive, how much percent. I can't speak, but
what?
You get it.
We're guessing what the scores are.
Yeah. Rob, why don't you start us off? We're going to do the critic scores first. There are 5, count them, 5 critic scores.
Okay.
Bob, what you got out of 100?
6.9.
6.9% from Bobby.
6 point.
So that's the joke number, but with a twist. Is that what I'm hearing? All right, cool. Justin, what about you?
So 5. It's either 0 or 20 or 40. How many people said they like 20
or 40?
Yeah, well, because 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
I get it, but I still think that's very positive.
I'll go 20.
20? All right. And we have a ding, ding, ding with Juice. That's a 20%.
Okay,
on
I was
Rotten
like, I guess
Tomatoes
it
critic.
could be 0.
No, yeah,
Too high.
no, I really, when you said 40, I was like, he's not gonna send like, he's not that optimistic. He can't be that optimistic. All right, now we're gonna go to the audience score. Juice, we'll start with you this time. Out of 100, we have 1,600 flat user
Hey,
ratings here. 1,600.
Huh.
So a good actual portion size there. I'm surprised.
Considered one of the worst films of all time. Are there people out there who like this movie? I hope not.
No.
How many accounts did Cash Flag make to give this a positive?
Cash Flag's gaming Rotten Tomatoes in his twilight years.
Yeah.
I don't know that man's still alive.
I would
think
not
he
wager
is.
on that.
I think
if he is, I mean,
maybe.
sure. Maybe it's Lil Baby Flag that's doing it.
Maybe. I'll give it a 12%.
12% from Juice. All right. Bob, what do you think?
Like 20. I don't know,
20%. Okay. Justin,
Yeah.
you're taking it again.
Woo!
Oh,
You were only
shit.
2 points off. It's a 14%. So
Heyo!
just a little bit under what the actual score is there. And I'm still shocked by that score. The 20% I understand, and I'll tell you why I understand it. Because I read the 5 excerpts at the bottom.
Yeah. Was it not positive at all?
So the positive scores highlight comment is a film you only see for its title.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
guess.
clearly positive. Positive review. That's the most positive it gets. One review out of the 5, the highlighted phrase is just the word sucks.
Accurate.
Just the word sucks.
That is accurate.
SUX.
The only thing incredible about this is incredibly long title, something Steckler seems to have given more thought to than the lame story.
The story literally, it makes no sense.
It's not a story. It's just not.
Maybe I shouldn't have given this a 0.5.
Duh. Already wrote it down.
You know what?
It's written down.
So there you go. Rotten Tomatoes. Them Tomatoes is rotten as fuck.
I'm assuming there's no critic consensus with only 5.
No, not yet. No
Not
consensus yet.
We could write it. No consensus yet.
I think sucks kind of summed it up.
SUX.
Jerry?
That's it, I guess.
I'm sorry. I was wrong. It happens sometimes. Cash Flag is dead.
Cash.
Yeah.
He died in 2009 at the ripe old age of 70 years old.
It's a
cool.
It's his son, Debit Flag, that's doing all the editing on Rotten Tomatoes.
I want to give it a shout out real quick. We just got hit up on our Slack channel from Hydraberg, and he just said, "Yo, I'm convinced Michael from Horror Apocalypse hates y'all." Laugh out loud.
Working on a theory? I think I can get on
we
board
agree.
with that.
I think we agree. Yeah.
This is an act of aggression, and it won't stand. We got beef. We got beef.
Won't stand. Any more trivia?
No. Well, I mean,
Okay.
yes, but I think I've dedicated enough of my time talking about this film.
Of your time. Okay. Well, we'll skip the rest of trivia. Let's go ahead and talk cooters. We're going hunting.
We're going hunting.
Cooter of the week.
Who talking, boys? All right, we talking cooter. Let's catch him.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe Jerry. What about Jerry?
Hang on, let me break it down.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Let me pad this
Let
segment.
let him talk as long as he needs to explain it in full.
Oh, God.
We don't want any confused Collins out there.
Yeah, I need to pad this show. So we're talking cooters. We're talking a character type. We need to find somebody who hits 3 of these 5 points minimum. They are sexual deviancy, smug arrogance, manipulation, patheticness, and attire. So, who is going to get the cooter cake this week, boys?
Bob, you had something.
Yeah, I'm leading with Jerry because Jerry, I use the word character very loosely, but he's like the most character that we have, like the most built out, fleshed out character.
Yeah.
We know that he's just very pathetic.
Okay.
Because he's a panty waif of a person.
Man, you really committed to that word for old Jerry.
It feels right. It feels right.
Sometimes you
it's
gotta
not
go
one
with
that I
your
use
gut.
often.
You feel like he, as a person, he is just like
he
dirty
embodies the
panties.
nature of a panty waist.
Yeah.
Not the whole panty, just the waist.
The waist section of a panty. The waist quadrant.
I always, when I think of that term, I think of like panties that have been thrown in the waste because they're soiled.
He's just a real waste of panties.
Like the waste bin. I think of the waste bin.
Who would waste panties this way?
These have been blown out. We can't wash and reuse these. Somebody blew these out.
They've been blown out. Jesus Christ.
Time to go on the waste bin. Blow these out.
That was a damn bloodbath.
Oh my
God, Bob.
Satan must be stopped at every opportunity.
It's true. It's so true. It's so true. Oh,
that
Jesus
is not chill.
I blew out my panties and tossed them out.
Randy breathlessly agreeing with the bump that he just played. I love it.
It's great.
It's so true. It's so true. I don't know. Jerry's pretty pathetic. He's like, I guess, kind of sexually deviant. He's like, tells his girlfriend, like,
oh yeah, he watches a stripper.
And I don't care about you.
But he gets hypnotized though. She like does the thing with her eyes.
Oh, was that before that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
They hypnotize him a couple different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's a
Jerry.
little loose.
He's got some smug arrogance
maybe
the way he talks about like
his appearance is problematic.
He looks inbred.
He licks some bread.
He really licks some bread.
All right. You say so. I don't remember that, but maybe it was hidden in the back of a dance.
Jerry sure can lick some bread.
That would make a better movie if this dude was just licking some bread.
The bread licker. I would see that. No, I wouldn't.
Jerry the bread licker.
Jerry was a bread
licking all the bread.
The only other one, maybe the gypsy. What about the gypsy?
That's who I was thinking, because I've only like the appearance is the first thing for me, because she looks moist as fuck constantly, like she's covered in jelly. Like,
damn, Randy.
She
kind of manipulates people out of their money.
It's like she's covered in fucking kerosene or not kerosene.
You think she blew those panties out or what?
Gasoline. Yeah, those panties are gone now. They're wasted. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. She's manipulative as fuck.
She is manipulative, and she uses like her sister, who's like a kind of a stripper, to like lure men. So that's kind of like sexually deviant.
Yeah, I would say
and manipulation.
And then she's just got some weird paper mache faced Uggo who lives with her and does her bidding.
I say Gypsy Esmeralda. Is that her name? What's her name?
Who cares? Her name is Phoebe.
Her name is Carmelita. No, that's the sexy one, right?
Carmelita.
I couldn't begin to tell you her name.
Madam Australia. Yeah.
There you go. Australia. Okay. Yeah. So sure, she's the cooter. Let's continue.
Sure. Bob, we take this seriously, okay?
Yeah, Rob, we're hunting here. We're not just playing games.
You're probably right. It's her. So, all right.
You're probably.
I think it's
Jerry's
both.
Fine
Can we have
too,
both?
yeah.
We can have like everybody in this movie is either a non-entity or a cooter. So that's kind of how I look at it.
He literally so he plays the main first. Let's talk about how this man makes movies.
I want to say Cash Flag is the cooter. The director, human being.
His name is naming himself Cash Flag.
Yeah.
Cooter in chief.
That's
Cash
pathetic. That is pathetic.
That is.
Yeah. That's right. He borrowed $38,000 from his mom, which she didn't get back. We all know that.
I'm reminded very vividly of that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza tries to make his own nickname T-Bone. Cash flag, T-bone. T-bag is probably not what he was aiming for. No.
Call me Teabag.
He like orders a T-bone steak. He's like, I'll take a T-bone steak. I'm just a T-bone kind of guy. Just call me T-bone. And it doesn't take. Somebody else gets T-bone.
Seinfeld is the best.
Yes, and that's Cash Flag in a nutshell.
Yeah, that is pretty pathetic. Yeah.
T-bone.
Oh, I was saying this guy, he plays the main. The main actress who was supposed to be in this movie bailed, so he literally just grabbed one of the dancers. Okay, so the two mains. The mom was also the makeup artist. So the woman who plays the mom was just the woman they hired to do
Jesus
makeup.
Christ.
Yeah. So yeah.
I respect your dedication, Mr. Flag.
And then Tommy Wiseau. So those are the main
and then he committed the rest of his life to becoming the person, Tommy Wiseau.
Yep.
His greatest feat of performance. Do you think that maybe this is like a Warholian Andy Warhol thing? Not Andy Warhol, excuse me.
What are you talking about, Randy?
Andy Kaufman.
Banksy?
Thing.
Oh.
No. Kaufman thing.
Talk about that, Banksy? I don't know. No, I don't.
You don't think this is like low-key high art?
No, not a chance. Not a
I
chance.
think it could be, man.
That's
5 stars. I'm changing to 5.
Okay. Let's talk about horror news.
All right.
Extra. Read all about it.
All right. So we're going to be talking about a Quiet Place Part 2 next week, but coronavirus is kind of throwing a wrench in the works here. So a lot of movies have been pulled, and obviously like a lot of like big gatherings, festivals, whatnot have been canceled. Everything's shut down. It's a fucking ridiculous, crazy time that we live in currently. So I got like some news that is related to the coronavirus shit that's supposed to be happening that's not happening anymore. So The Hunt came out this past Friday, and apparently Universal is going to be releasing The Hunt on VOD because people obviously weren't really wanting to go to the theaters.
At this point, they're like,
to watch
fuck.
it.
Yeah, because wasn't it supposed to be released like a year ago?
Last year.
Last September or October,
Yeah.
That's
and people got upset about the premise of the movie because of shootings that had been happening, and so they pushed it back. It finally came out, and now it just made like no money because of the virus, the pandemic. So they're going to release The Hunt on VOD this coming Friday. So if you are wanting to watch it, but you don't really want to like go out and about, you'll be able to rent that on VOD. Also, The Invisible Man is going to be released on VOD this Friday as well.
Okay.
The Invisible Man actually made quite a bit of money at the box office, but it's still in theaters. So if you hadn't made it out to the theater to watch it yet, you don't have to leave your house. Go ahead and bring it on VOD.
I'm glad they made their money like quick, like in the first couple of weeks, because
man.
it's solid. And it, of course, like here in Korea, like I saw it in the theaters, like even amidst like, like our kind of height of the coronavirus. So like they're still showing movies here, and I was like, man, they still like are we still gonna get A Quiet Place? Because it was supposed to come out for us, but I doubt it since it hasn't dropped at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those the crazy thing about that, like Invisible Man, I think the budget for Invisible Man was something like $7 or $8 million.
Yeah.
And the Hunt, I think, was around 15.
Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. They're definitely going to take a bath on that, even if it gets a few rentals on VOD. I think they're still going to be taking a bath.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was already kind of like, they already had to like make the decision to play it after that, like already pulled it and shit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if they were even gonna.
They pulled it out of
break even
retirement,
on
basically.
$50 million, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I think the first weekend they pulled about $5 million, and then you got to take into consideration the amount of money that went into the marketing for that movie twice now, because they marketed last fall, and then again. So yeah, that really sucks, man. I don't know if the movie's good or not. I haven't seen it yet, but either way, that's a bummer for Blumhouse. It's a blummer.
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Had to do it. In other coronavirus-related news, the virus has forced Netflix to pull production on Stranger Things Season 4. So that's going to be delayed now.
The biggest crime of all the virus's
Right.
crimes.
Thanks, coronavirus. What
Thank
the
you.
fuck?
My grandma died, but I can't watch Stranger Things even.
Damn it. Damn it. I guess they're making The Witcher still, though. So they're
Thank God.
filming outside of North America. And so
Film
you
it in a
got that.
bubble? What are they doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with The Witcher. What are they doing? What are they doing?
Man, I don't know. They keep it pretty slim on there. Maybe the cast is just so small.
Yeah.
Just like 5 people on set, so they're not breaking any laws.
They're not children's either.
Also, in other Blummer-related news, now this is just bummer, not Blummer. Disney has delayed New Mutants yet again.
Oh my God, that movie is
know.
never going to see the light.
It's been coming out for like a year and a half.
Dude, I think, yeah.
For real.
I think it was supposed to come out 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, for real. It's been delayed.
That movie was, oh boy.
What, it was supposed to come out in April?
Yeah, of last year, I think.
No, I mean this year. Like when was
it?
This
Yeah.
year?
And I think it was like April last year. Yeah, it was April.
Damn, dude.
April 3rd.
Do any of these have like dates? Are they trying to like?
No, they're gonna wait and see what happens. So I don't think we have a
wild.
definitive release date now. So yeah, indefinitely delayed. New Mutants and Antlers, which was another pretty cool looking movie.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Our lives.
No.
It does
the most important victims of this virus.
We legit are gonna have to like go back and cover maybe some movies we like missed and.
Yeah, well, it does. It fucks our whole schedule up because we have like a certain balance that we try to maintain every quarter, and that it's gonna be impossible, I think.
So now we're gonna open up 10 Patreon tiers.
What? This has not been discussed.
Not actually happening. Just to clarify.
You pick
not yet,
the
anyways.
flick.
We can fix that quicker. God makes poor folks.
Times 10.
Mm-hmm. Times 10. So yeah, we don't know when we're going to be seeing any of this. We'll just have to see how the pandemic plays out. Hopefully it's over quickly. I don't know.
We'll be covering Contagion 5 times.
That's not true.
Contagion, World War Z, all your major viral outbreak films.
People wash your hands. If you feel sick, stay home.
I have been watching. I forgot about this, but I have been watching The Last Man on Earth. It's exactly what the result of our situation now.
You know, I would trade society as it currently is for a mini pool full of margarita. Happily.
Yeah, I think you could have both.
No, it's one or the other.
Only billionaires get to live in margarita pools, Bob, right. Justin. I mean,
he's just got the pre-mixed margarita, like it's $5 or whatever. Only millionaires.
Only millionaires can buy this plastic children's.
I think it costs maybe $100 total.
Maybe.
Millionaires.
If you get good tequila, yeah. Not drinking that Montezuma. Anyway, that's all I got for the news.
That's all we got for everything. Jesus Christ.
No, we have a voicemail this week.
Oh,
we got a voicemail.
Yeah.
So moving on over into our Hotline Scream segment. If you are listening and you would like to call in and leave us a voicemail, you can do so at 904-638-3231. We do have one voicemail to play this week. It's from the one, the only Hydraberg. Let's hear what Hydraberg has to say.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Hydraberg. I'm just calling in just to let you know that if I was invisible, hypothetically, and I think I would go to like a Trump rally for the new election, and I would totally get behind him, and I would pull that dumbass fucking toupee right off his head, and I would just show the whole world how bald he is. And it wouldn't even be orange, probably. It would be like palish white. He would look horrible, like a sweet potato Uncle Fester or some shit. Anyway, that's really all I got to say about that, and I look forward to the next show. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. Keep chilling.
Sweet potato Uncle Fester.
Sweet potato Fester.
Sweet potato Fester. Also, another beautiful speech-to-text result in this one, where Hydraberg's name comes up as "It's Your Boy" by True Burger.
Buy True Burger.
By
the
True
only By True
Burger.
Burger.
My new name, pseudonym. So you can be Cash Flag all you want, but I'm gonna be True Burger. That's my new name.
Dude, I'm DJ.
Call me
Anal
True.
Docs.
DJ Anal Docs, forever and always. I don't even remember where that joke
I
came
think
from
something
now.
about doxing
I
someone's
could
anus.
tell you. It's from Halloween Resurrection. I listen to that way more than I should.
Jesus.
And it was when you were talking about the 80s movie and you go like, racist. It was and then we talked about Monster Squad and how they
Jesus.
were doxing that chick.
This has just
and the
become
movie.
a clip show.
Yeah.
We're
This is
padding with clips like
Anyway.
every good sitcom.
It's about analog doxing and then anal dox and spirals
Analog
out of control.
doxing. All right.
Dude, are you super far away from your mic, Juice? You sound far away.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was.
You're lounging way too hard.
Maximum lounge.
Huh.
Lounge against the machine.
Give it a test screen.
Squeal in the microphone.
Just squeal in there.
Again, if you're listening, you want to leave us a voicemail to be played on next week's show, you can do so at 904-638-3231.
Tell us what you're doing on your coronation.
And I licked her asshole a little bit.
That's what
Did
I'm doing.
you?
I
Is
hope
that
you're
what you're
doing that.
doing?
I did that.
I
That's
hope
what I'm
I
you're
doing.
doing
hope you are, Randy. Get in
Mhm.
there.
Toss that salad. Yeah. Yeah.
No kink shaming. Only
No
kink
king shit.
proclaiming.
You can't go to the store to buy a salad, but luckily you got some
Yeah.
salad at home. Am I
We're going to
right?
be eating for weeks.
You got some in the fridge. That's a lot of salad.
Damn, Randy. That's a lot. Damn. Eating them greens,
garlic
Randy.
croutons.
Oh. It sounds great.
Ooh, shit. Yeah, Colin, let us know how you're weathering a storm. What are you doing to keep busy? You watching any crazy movies? How many times have you watched Danzig's Barotica? We want to know. We want to know.
One, a quarter.
It's like an onion. You get more from it every time you watch it. It's just so layered. Damn.
Sounds
Damn.
good.
Sounds
so
pretty
good.
good. Maybe we should just review that. Fuck, we got time.
Double take.
Honestly, it might come down to it. With all these theatrical releases getting pulled, we might just have to talk about Barotica once a month.
I
until
know
the end
we're
of the year.
running out of horror movies to talk about.
There's
We're
no
running
more
out.
horror movies.
We've done them all.
all the good
Mhm.
ones, and then
Seen
most
all
of the
of
bad ones.
And
Most
then
of them, yeah. We got like one or two bad ones left.
whatever
And
shall we
Michael's
do?
going to pick them.
God, Michael. No, you're not.
This is do not mistake us for aggrandizing and trying to legitimize your choice here, Michael.
Yeah.
Regret
Do
to
not
inform
mistake
you.
us as kind men.
This is
Do not mistake us as forgiving God.
Oh, jeez.
oh Jesus Christ.
I don't know what to do.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez. We're just gonna just riffs for the rest of fucking
Yeah.
how long do we got?
30
That's it.
minutes.
No, we're done.
Oh, we're done.
with this
Oh,
thing.
thank
Yeah, that's
Christ. I
absolutely
got
it.
nothing further to say that's
No.
fit for audio.
No, we're not making time for sure. Thanks to Michael. We're coming back next week. We got a brand new show. As always, the coronavirus is not keeping the Straight Chilling crew down. We're coming at you. We're talking about the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari next week.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't talk about Quiet Place 2, so we just kind of went back to the well. We found an older movie that we'd never talked about before, and it actually just turned 100, which is pretty nuts.
100 years old.
So there's a lot to discuss with this movie for sure. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Get ready for next week's show. And until then, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter at STR8_chilling, on Instagram at Straight Chilling Podcast. You can send us an email through our website, straightchillingpodcast.com. If you would like to join in on our Slack channel and talk about how much Michael definitely hates us, just let us know through any one of those social media platforms, and I'll send you a link so you can join in on the Slack channel. We talk about the movie of the week, horror TV, music, news, physical media, anything and everything we want to. So until next week, As always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Watch out for Rona.